Can my relationship survive an affair? I wish I had a crystal ball for you, and I know that's what you wish too. But the reality is there isn't one. And the question isn't, can my relationship survive an affair? It's, can I? Now, I know relationships that have got stronger as a result of an affair. And I know relationships that have fallen apart, which is why there is no yes or no answer to that question. But the pain of finding out someone has been unfaithful runs deep. The loneliness, the isolation, the what did I do wrong, the how dare they. There are so many emotions tangled up with that huge breach of trust that infidelity brings. There is anger, there is fear, there is pain, there is shame, there is so much grief. Because you aren't just grieving the relationship, you're grieving for a future you thought you knew, even if you weren't that happy. You knew where you were headed. You're grieving your sense of self. I thought I was a good wife, partner, human. How has this happened to me? I thought I trusted them. I gave them everything and they've destroyed it. When did it start? How did it start? What is it about the other person? What do they have that I don't? You can torture yourself when that happens. But you can find your way through it. This does not have to define the rest of your life. So the question, does a relationship survive? Absolutely can. But it's a new relationship if it does, because it will break you down. But it needs to break you both down. And you need to rebuild that relationship from the foundations up. You need to be able to communicate. You need to be able to connect in a whole new way. Because, and you might not like this, affairs don't happen in happy relationships. An affair is not the cause of the end of a relationship. A relationship hasn't ended because of the infidelity. The infidelity is the symptom of the relationship being broken. That might not feel comfortable. But when we can make peace with that, when we can take responsibility for totally ourselves, that doesn't mean it's our fault someone else made that decision. But it's about saying, who was I in this relationship? What served me in this relationship? What didn't? Where did I sacrifice so much of myself? Where did I not have boundaries that I needed? What part did I play in this relationship being unhappy or unhealthy or whatever it is? And when you can take responsibility for your part and anyone else can take responsibility for theirs, then you get to decide, how do I want to move forward in my life? What values do I have? What do I want my life to look like? How do I want to feel every day? How do I want to build my future? What boundaries do I need and not currently have? What is my communication style? What is my conflict style? Do I shut down and avoid? Or do I scream and shout? Like, how can I communicate with someone that means they feel heard and I feel heard? How do I make sure when I'm in any relationship, there's an equal footing and that we communicate really clearly? That doesn't mean we don't have conflict. It means the conflict we have is constructive and moves us forward. What's my love language? How do I feel loved? And how do I make sure the other person feels loved? So yes, a relationship can survive an affair and it can be better, but it's a new relationship. It won't be the relationship that you had before, and you don't want it to be, because that relationship wasn't happy. It wasn't working. Something was wrong. But equally, sometimes it can't work because they're not two people willing to actually start from the foundations. The communication styles are too different. The vision for the future has changed so significantly that those two lives that were heading in the same direction no longer are. And that's okay. It is not for society or media or your mum or your friend to judge your relationship or your choices. This is your one true beautiful life. And you get to decide what you want that to look like. So the question is not, can my relationship survive an affair? The question is, can I? And the answer is yes. And it takes work. Whether you are staying together or moving on, going it alone or with somebody else, it still takes work. This affair, this breach of trust, this hurt, this pain does not need to define your future, and you do not want to carry it into your future. You deserve to let it go. So you have to understand, how did I get here? How do I move forward? What do I want to take into my future? How do I want to show up in my future relationships, whatever they look like? Time is a great healer, but time alone just quietens the noise. It doesn't help you address it. You do need to do the work. And if this is a question you are asking yourself, then I strongly encourage you to turn the mirror on yourself. Don't make the questions about them, what they done, why they done it. Make the questions about you. How did I get here, and where do I want to go? How do I want my relationships to look like? What do I want to be? Who do I want to be? How do I want to be loved, seen, heard, communicated with? How do I want to argue with someone? And if these are questions you want to explore and understand, I go through that in my 6-week program, The Power of One. Because one person can make all the difference. One choice, one change in behaviour, sometimes one word in a sentence completely changes the direction of a conversation. So over 6 sessions, the access is for 12 months, but each session over 6 weeks, we explore these skills that help you make a decision. Can I stay or can I leave? And the choice is absolutely yours. And there is no judgment, because this is your life. You decide. You hold the boundaries, and you will survive this affair. If anything, it might be the thing that makes your life the best it's ever been. One day, we might even be grateful it happened. Possibly not today, and that's okay. You're allowed to feel everything you're feeling. But trust me, you can survive this chapter.